Hello, guys and gals, and welcome. So, I already have a Diablo 2 hero editor and item pack available for you guys, and I wanted to provide you guys with a Diablo 1 hero editor and item pack. So I managed to get together pretty much all of the items. Let's go ahead and pull this up real quick. And I'll give you the download link. It'll be in the description, or it'll be pinned to the top of the video, one or the other. There's a couple things in here. So first off, you're going to see the Boba Fett 68 trainer. There's an installer here. You're going to go ahead and install the Boba Fett trainer. And that's going to end up looking like this. And I'll show you how to use this one in just a second. I actually have to boot up the game. There's also all the item files in here that you would need. So there's blue items, obviously magic items. So there's amulets, axes, body armors, etc. There's tons of different items in here that you can pull from in the blue section. There's also quest items if you're interested in pulling any of the quest items out. And then, of course, scrolls and potions, as well as all the spell books are in here as well. And then unique items, I made sure that every single unique item is in this list. It took me a while to actually compile the entire list of unique items, but I did manage to compile them all. So like when you go into the bows, you will find Wind Force in here. You'll find Eagle Horn, Flame Dart, Flesh Stinger, Black Bow. I recently just did a huge upload. I'm sure you guys saw it because it was like 90 videos of all the Diablo 1 unique items. So if you guys are interested in taking a look at that, I do have a playlist up with all of the videos in it. It is right here. And I will link that as well. But I have literally all 90 unique items in this playlist, going over every single one. So if you're interested in learning more about the Diablo 1 uniques, well, there you go. I've got it up there for you. And if you want to pull any of these Diablo 1 uniques up, well, then I also have the actual hero editor item pack for you. I'm going to show you how to load in items, but I'm also going to show you this program, which is a different program. This one's called AAN Write, or I can't remember the exact name of this program. It's a program that basically allows you to edit a item. So in the very simplest way, if you have the item pack, for instance, and you are to go into the item pack and actually look at the item pack, you'll find tons of different items in here. I'm going to pull up like one of the unique items as an example. So here's the Demon Spike coat. And if you want to edit this in any way, shape, or form to try and create something that is different than what the original Demon Spike coat is, you can totally do that. You can change like what slot it gets equipped to. Like you can make it get equipped to your helmet slot. You can do silly things. You can turn it into a ring if you want to. You can also edit things like the damage, the durability, the armor class. You can add different stats to the items and so forth and so on. Now, obviously, this gets a little bit more into the cheatery kind of a thing, but I also found that I was actually using this to undo some things. So there are a lot of hacked items in Diablo, and you might find that some of the items don't really match up with their original counterparts. Well, this is a good way to basically allow you to go in and edit those items and get them closer to what they are supposed to be. Like, for instance, you could potentially take a weapon, like a sword. Let's say like the grandfather sword. So here's the grandfather sword, and as you can see, it's a one-handed weapon. And this is because the grandfather sword has a special mechanic that allows it to be a one-handed weapon. So this is something that kind of shows up in the item editor. Now, the item editor itself isn't like the most important thing. It's just there just in case you need to edit items. I'm going to show you really quickly how the actual item editor works. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up some Diablo. I'm going to go into a single player character. Alright, and here we have a single player character. Now, if you want to edit an item in, which is actually pretty easy to do, you're going to Alt-Tab. You're going to open up your Boba Fett's trainer. which once you have it installed, you should have a shortcut like this. And it's going to automatically detect the game. It doesn't seem to work with Devolution X. In fact, I haven't really found anything that works with Devolution X. Unfortunately, if you're playing Devolution X, you might just have to play it the normal way. Um, so in here, you're going to click on Item. You're going to choose the character right there. And then you're going to choose what you want to replace. So in this particular case, I'm going to replace the Mangler. I'm going to import. And you're going to find that folder, the one that you just downloaded from my item pack. So there's the GGM's Diablo 1 item pack. And you're going to go and find what you want to put in there. So let's say we want to put in a grandfather. So let's grab a grandfather, save changes, and that should be it. And when you hop back in, you should find that you have a grandfather in your inventory. And you can just go ahead and identify
Hello,
it.
my friend. Stay a while and listen.
And there you go. Now we have a grandfather. Now granted, obviously this is cheating because you can basically import any item you want. But at the same time, the original Diablo 1 didn't really have a stash. Devolution X does, but the original Diablo 1 and the Hellfire didn't have any way for you to store away your items. And so technically you could kind of see this as storing away your gear. If you do happen to find an item, like for instance a grandfather, and you don't want to hold on to it, you could potentially just pretend that, well, that you have it, right? So like you could make your own little stash. You can also export items too. So if you want to export an item, like for instance you want to export say crack rust, you can export that item into a folder. And what you could potentially do is you could make a folder specifically for yourself, right? So you could go in here and you could make like items that I've obtained, and then you could export items in there, and you could slowly fill the items up until you're eventually full. In this particular case, I'm just going to go ahead and save this one here. All right, that's it. Yeah, you can also do other things with this trainer. You can edit your character level. You can also go through the process of changing your stats. You can also edit the spells that you potentially have access to, and what level those spells are. There's a lot of things that you can potentially do here. You can give yourself gold, you can give yourself experience, you can save your character or restore it, and it's just in general is going to allow you to bypass a lot of the problems. Another thing that this would allow you to do, and just to give you an idea here, in single player you can't choose between normal, nightmare, and hell difficulty. However, in online, you can choose between normal, nightmare, and hell difficulty. Well, the interesting thing is that if you have a character that is capable of going into hell, and I don't know if I do have a character that's capable of going into hell, but if you do have a character that's capable of going into hell, you can create a hell game, and then you can potentially make a hell game in normal in the normal version, the single player version of the game. In my case, I would have to, just very quickly, we're going to make him called Hell. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and edit him real quick. So all we're really going to do is I'm just going to change his level. That's pretty much it. Where is his level on here? He's a little baby level 1 character. We should be able to edit his actual level, right? Right. I literally don't even know. Level. Alright. So all we're going to do is we're going to create a character just for the purposes of allowing us to be able to go into a hell game. And that's it. So now he's level 30, so we're going to new game. Then we're going to create hell. And then we're going to leave. Now, what this does is it sets single player in hell difficulty. This is actually a little trick that you can use. So if you are playing single player and you'd like to play in hell difficulty, you can do this through essentially changing this particular setup. So now it is in hell difficulty because I last loaded the game in hell difficulty is how it functions. Hmm. And hell difficulty in hell. Actually, I think I just killed Diablo here. This looks like Diablo's area. Huh. Regardless. Hopefully this is useful to you guys and gals out there. Get you the items that you need to be able to, like play around with the characters. Maybe you just want to like get your character started or remake your character from back in the day. There will be a download for you guys so you guys can get access to this. I've got pretty much everything in there that you need to mess around with the game. It's going to look like this when you download it. And you're just going to extract it. Sorry about that. Um, you're going to install the Boba Fett trainer. And then you have access to all the item files. That's pretty much it. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals joining. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you are enjoying the content. And as always, keep watching.